What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Wild Rift video, and today we're going to be taking a look at some more esports since you guys really seem to enjoy my first Wild Rift Esports analysis video, and we're going to be continuing right where we left off with that Game 2 of Divine Esports going up against RSG in the Icon Series. Now, again, if you guys missed that first one, if you don't want to get spoiled about the Game 1 result, if you want to check that out still, I'm going to put a card in the top right that will link to that video, so you can check that out first if you care, or if you don't care, if you just want to see the crazy picks or whatever I put in the thumbnail and title of this video, then you can just continue this one. But keep in mind, of course, as soon as I start the play button here, as soon as I press it, you will see who won that game 1, right, on the UI thingy. Okay, but yeah, let's get right into this draft because I still don't know what they will even pick. I don't even know what I will put in the thumbnail, but it's gonna be something nice, I hope. Let's see what they pick. Let's get right into this draft. I'm very excited. RSG, of course, after their loss, they're gonna be first pick now. Divine Esports on that second pick, and straight off the get-go, we have some different bans. RSG banning out that Aurelian Soul once again, however, this time also banning the Akali, leaving the Orianna open so far. So the Orianna actually not picked yet, but let's keep moving with the bans first. The Vi also banned out, just like last game I believe, and the Rakan was also banned last game by Divine Esports. And RSG decides to instantly pick that Olaf, you know, after that Akali game, they still have faith in the Olaf. They just don't want him to go up against the Akali after she got a huge snowball in that game 1. Meanwhile, Camille being picked up and Jarvan again. Seems like Divine Esports is very happy with how the last game went. They're very happy with the Jarvan performance. They just pick him again and they pick that Camille to go up against that Olaf. Meanwhile, RSG is also happy with the release in. He did really well, he stole a lot of objectives, but now this time, not going for the Ziggs, instead going for that Orianna. So that should be very exciting to check out because she should put in a lot of work. She's just absolutely broken, quite frankly. Definitely an upgrade over Ziggs. I mean, Ziggs and Orianna are kind of similar in what they do. They are both long-range control mages. They bring a lot of CC to the table, a lot of poke damage, a lot of long-range damage. But Orianna, just in general, is a little bit more useful. Ziggs is very good for tower pushing. Orianna is very good, even better than Ziggs for team fights. And Wild Rift is all about those team fights right now. That is why she shines so much. She can also support that Olaf a lot with the move speed, so this is looking like a pretty broken team. But wow, that is so fast, I can't even comment everything. Let me just pause real quick. Annie being picked up again, Miss Fortune and Lulu. I mean, Divine Esports, they are running the same exact draft as last game, just the Akali was banned out, so they had to go for the Camille. I'm not sure how Camille against Olaf interacts in that 1v1, but we'll see about that in the game. I would assume she can go even, you know, she has that long range W to last hit, she has that little armor, that little physical damage shield from her passive, so she should be fine. I definitely think Olaf should have an advantage in the early game, but she should be able to safely not die, at least in lane. And then we have a Kai'Sa and an Alistar, so no Corki anymore. RSG recognizes that they lost the last game, so they switch up the draft a little bit. And now let me move the camera top right. Of course, it was in the middle, so I don't cover any of the picks, you know. That is beautiful. We move it top right for the game because there's nothing there. I really like this UI. There's nothing top right. I mean, there's the sponsors and stuff, but there's nothing, like there's no picks, there's no you know, summoner skills. We have to see both champion rows left and right because you see the timers for the ultimate, for the summoner. Yeah, very important. You also see the runes that they picked right off the get-go. Take a look at the minimap because we have a lane swap situation again. That is always something that we have to check out in Wild Rift. Let me just check real quick if yes, everything is fine. Ooh, the Camille already being forced a flash. Now keep in mind, RSG is not lane swapping here. They are moving their dual lane into the dragon lane, just like it should. But actually Divine Esports lane swap. Now this confuses me because they don't want a lane swap, man. Because the Olaf is going to be good in that lane swap, like I explained in that previous game where he can just last hit a long range. So what was going on here is Divine Esports tried to predict the enemy lane swap and lane swap preemptively because they want to force the duo versus duo and the solo versus solo because they have advantages in both. So it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors thing, but hold that thought. We have an engage coming in by this Alistar. He goes deep with that flash, knocks up multiple people, and we have lots of people dropping on both sides. Lulu dies on the side of Divine Esports, but they get 2 kills back. They get the Olaf, I believe, and the Lee Sin. And that is huge because you only traded a support for a Baron laner and a jungler. And this Olaf is hilariously far behind now. The Lee Sin also losing his red buff. This is a great start for Divine Esports. You can see they're already accumulating a 500 gold lead. They're in a very good spot now. This is already super action-packed right off the get-go. We can see the replay here is a little bit laggy. Oh, it's a little bit laggy, bro. What is this? Is this a PowerPoint presentation or what? Never mind, it's a beta. Guys, cut them some slack. But yeah, we have that team fight. It was very messy, you know. Everyone just committed everything. Everyone just went deep. It was a full-on brawl. And Divine Esports just ended up winning. Don't underestimate Jarvan early game. Especially don't underestimate Miss Fortune early game. Lulu as well. The Kai'Sa is just not going to keep up with that Miss Fortune damage. That is why I always say Miss Fortune is the best marksman in the game right now. I argue Draven might be better, you know, because he is really, really insane, but you have to play him perfectly to outshine the Miss Fortune. Meanwhile, everyone, even I can play Miss Fortune, and you know how dumb I am, guys. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Even I can carry on her. It's absolutely insane. She's just really insanely strong. And yeah, it shows, man. She's strong early game and she is very strong late game still too. That ult just does so much damage, but take a look at this roam. RSG is trying to get that roam going to the bottom lane, but of course they walk through the Scuttle Crab vision. They're not going to get anything with that. And you can see here that Camille actually, after that advantage, is winning, but hold that thought again, because the Lee Sin gets engaged on, is not able to escape, has no flash up after he died early game. That W, he probably used the second ability, the Safeguard, I believe it's called, to jump away after the Annie ulted him. But then, of course, the Jarvan ult just follows up and he has nothing to escape anymore after that flash is down. So, very exciting stuff here, especially if you're a Divine Esports fan. You're happier about this progression right now because they're looking at a 1.6k gold lead. That is pretty big. That is definitely very, very big in not even 4 minutes. And with that advantage, after they go back and spend all that money, they should be able to just secure this dragon. It's going to be an ocean dragon. It's going to be spawning in 3 seconds. I assume we will see a fight for it, but the Lee Sin is resetting. No, he's going to stay. He's going to stay. He's trying to scout out the enemies. The Jarvan already sweeping the vision around it. Very well done here. RSG is sitting in the dark. They don't see anything. The only ward they have is, I mean, they have a ward right there. They have a ward right there on top of dragons, so they see the cone, the whatever it's called, the Dandelion, actually only seeks out the ward in the Tri-Brush. So RSG knows this is going on, but they're just gonna handshake it. They're gonna handshake it. They're just gonna invade the jungle a little bit. They recognize they're almost 2,000 gold behind. They're just gonna give it over. Ocean Drake, while it is big, you know, the Omnivamp is really, really nice for everyone, like for every champion pretty much. You know, it's not the end of the world. You can give it over and you can still win the game. So yeah, especially because a lot of champions build mortal reminders, so it's also going to reduce that lifesteal by a little bit. At least I'm pretty sure. Correct me as always if I'm wrong about any of these things I say. That way I will learn and not say the wrong things again. But yeah, I'm pretty sure lifesteal also gets reduced by grievous wounds, not only just healing and health regen. But yeah, the game is taking a little bit of a slow... Hold up, man. Look at this. They gave up the dragon, right, RSG? But they stole the enemy jungle, or they stole a large portion of it. They pushed out the minion waves, and they're not even behind anymore. And while I'm saying that, a huge team fight is breaking out in the bottom lane. Huge engage again by the Alistar, but look at this misfortune. Lulu is broken, she's able to just sustain her. Oh my god, this beautiful Orianna ult swoops in, gets the misfortune. The Jarvan dies as well before he can get the heal to the Leandries of Orianna. Annie is trying to follow up, but is not able to. She lands a pretty good ult there, but it just gets taken down completely in the end. And yeah, just gets whopped, man. A little bit too late with that follow-up. The Annie is actually pretty strong. She's sitting at her Proto Belt. She rushed the Proto Belt again. Guys, if you want to play Annie, try that out. It's a little bit more of a... I don't think it's a good solo queue pick, or not one of the best, because she's all about that engage, especially the way Coyote plays her here. He just goes for the Proto Belt, he just goes deep, engages for his team, and his team follows up. But in solo queue, teams won't always follow up. And meanwhile, RSG is actually looking at a gold lead right now. 300 gold, a lead after that team fight. Of course, they got a huge success there. I think it was a 3-for-1 in the end, something like that. So they're super happy about that. Or a 3-for-2, but still very good for them. They were able to win that team fight, and as I pointed out before the team fight, they actually weren't that far behind. The gold really swings super fast in Wild Rift right now. I'm not sure if the developers intend to leave it that way. I feel like it's a little bit too snowbally, you know, but the gold really just swings super fast. If you can take out 2 of the enemy or 3 of the enemy jungle camps, you're already looking at a huge gold swing, and they were able to completely turn the gold lead into their favor now. 1000 gold lead. And look at this mid lane being pressured by Divine Esports right now. Keep in mind, RSG has the Rift Herald, so we might still see that coming out. They're able to just barely defend this mid lane tower, and now everybody's just following up. The Olaf used his Righteous Glory, is not able to get anything though. And now I think RSG, yeah, they set up the Rift Herald. They want to get this mid lane tower, and Divine Esports has to stay now. They don't have a Misfortune ult available. They do have the Misfortune ult available. And I think we will see it coming out. Ooh, beautiful. Orianna ult hits both of the... hits 2 people, the Jarvan and the Misfortune again. And actually no one dying out of that whole exchange. But, of course, huge victory for RSG. They're able to further increase their gold lead to around 2k, more than 2k even, after they pick down that mid lane tower. And keep in mind, guys, mid lane tower in every MOBA is incredibly important. That's the tower you want to get. Mid lane tower just opens up the whole map for you. It opens up the jungle to be invaded both sides, okay? And yeah, just super clean. We have the Orianna hitting her power spike. She's gonna complete her Seraphs very, very soon, I assume. Gonna hit that maximum tier, those maximum tier stacks. And at that point, she's gonna have a barrier, she's gonna have her E shield, she's gonna have that Seraph's shield as well. So she's gonna be very, very safe. And she has that Leandries, that's all she needs to deal a lot of damage. It is a very broken item. But yeah, RSG starting off that Cloud Drake. They are of course sitting at a 2000 gold advantage. It's a little bit less now. As I say, it swings fast, but Divine is trying to go for it, but he is not. The Jarvan is not able to steal it away. Engages a pretty good team fight though. Ooh, that Orianna ult just completely swings the tide of that one. And I think this is a very even trade at the end. 2 for 2 so far. The Camille is not gonna drop. Wow, incredibly lucky. Is almost one more auto attack there by the Kai'Sa would have dropped her. Beautiful Kai'Sa ult onto her as well there, but is not able to finish her up. And yeah, at the end of the day, I think that was a 2 for 2, but it's hard to keep track at this point. Lots of action going on in these games. Both teams just playing really aggressively, I have to say. They're both playing super... they're not just sitting back, they're not just only rotating, they're really both teams very eager to fight. As soon as someone has a slight advantage, they instantly want to fight. And I think Divine Esports is kind of happy with that at the end. They lose the dragon, but they get that mid lane tower. You know, that Cloud Drake, you always have to put it in context, okay? It always depends. For example, an Ahri. If I'm playing Ahri, I don't care about Cloud Drake. I don't care about having it. I have so much mobility, I don't need the move speed. But if you're playing an Olaf, you love Cloud Drake. So that Olaf is really happy about that. The Orianna, no mobility, you know, only her W to speed her up. So she's also happy with that move speed. That Misfortune also would be very happy. So at the end of the day, still a pretty even game. Both teams have one dragon. 1000 gold advantage for RSG. I think this Camille is a little bit caught out. Beautiful W hit there by the Kai'Sa. He's able to follow it up, but what is Divine Esports doing? They're just trying to burn down this Baron. The Misfortune ult is being used, but huge knockup by that Lee Sin there with the kick, and the Orianna follows up as well. The Olaf just going crazy. Oh my goodness, man! They wiped the whole team. And they secure the Baron. That might be game over. That might just be game over. The Camille is gonna respawn in 1 second, but I don't think she can just defend by herself. But we'll see. The Nexus is gonna get the damage reduction because they push so many towers at once. You can see it glowing. That means it's very tanky. So they might not be able to get it. And yeah, the Camille is able to just finish off the Alistar. Is she gonna get that? Lee Sin, nope, he flashes away and is able to get away. This is a huge Cloud Fiesta. I love it. Divine Esports, I saw what they were trying to do, but keep in mind, they didn't have their Camille. They only have a Jarvan, and Annie, you know, Annie doesn't have a lot of DPS onto the Baron. Jarvan doesn't have a lot of DPS onto the Baron. The Misfortune with Lulu, if it was a Jinx, maybe, but a Misfortune doesn't have a lot of DPS on Baron. She's more of an AoE ult type of marksman that focuses on that ult damage late game. That Olaf is getting caught out. He has to use his ultimate, uses his flash away as well. But honestly, very worthwhile for that. Annie finds him along with that Lulu, ults him, you know. That cooldown is going to be way lower than that Olaf flash. But now look at this. This Lee Sin is trying to swoop in. I think this Annie is going to get called out, yeah. Her backport was way too late, and the Annie just gets ganked up on by 4 of RSG members. I don't know, man. We might have to call the FBI about this one. I'm just saying, guys. You know, that little girl... Okay, let's not get demonetized. While I'm saying that, while I'm being a little bit cringe, I apologize, guys. We have that Leandris, Seraphs, and Rabadons completed on that Orianna. She will deal a ton of damage, let me tell you. She's gonna be absolutely insane, sitting at 12,000 gold, along with that Kai'Sa as well. And RSG seems like they're just gonna, I mean, of course, any dead, they're just gonna easily swoop up this Infernal Drake, and they are so happy about that one, let me tell you. They are gonna be dealing so much damage on that Kai'Sa, on that Orianna, on that Olaf as well. Don't underestimate Olaf. Oh, no. I mean, he has a... This is something interesting. You see these builds are sometimes very different from the solo queue builds. On solo queue, Olaf always goes for Trinity. Solo queue, Jarvan always goes for the Ghost Blade. But here, both of them went for a Black Cleaver. This is because it's more of a supportive item. You want to support your marksman. You want to reduce the enemy's armor, so your marksman can do a ton of damage. And I mean, that Kai'Sa and that Misfortune are really happy about that, because they will do so much damage with those items. It's going to be absolutely insane. But yeah, let's see how this game progresses. It seems like RSG is trying to set up a trap here. They're not sitting on a ward. Divine Esports does not know, but RSG also sitting in the dark because they don't know where Divine Esports is. But seems like Divine Esports is sniffing out this situation pretty well, just like I sniff my waifu's feet. Moving on, yeah, they sniffed out the enemies sitting in that bush, so they don't walk into it, they don't get caught. Divine Esports playing pretty safe here, trying to bit by bit regain control of their own red side jungle here. I assume they're going to try to set up some wards. You can see they are really in the dark. They don't have any wards anywhere, especially around that Baron. They put one ward there. They see if the Baron will be taken, and the Lee Sin just moves in with his Umbral Glaive, swoops it out, clears it out, and clears out the whole jungle side. I'm telling you, Umbral Glaive is a really strong item. It's very underrated. You lose damage. That's why people don't build it in solo queue. And honestly, nice try there by the Annie. She tries to flash Proto Belt ults the Orianna, but beautiful reaction time by Orianna. She just flashes away. The Orianna, at the end of the day, is going to be pretty safe. And the Annie, without her flash, without her Proto Belt, without her ult, she cannot engage. She doesn't have engage potential. So this might be a huge downside for Divine Esports roster right now. We might see a team fight breaking out here. The Baron was already at half HP. The Alistar goes deep, engages. The Orianna ult just whiffed. The Orianna ult just missed everything. This might be huge for this team fight, but the Kai'Sa is still there. She does a lot of damage, uses her Sonias. She's safe for now, but the Misfortune is DPSing everyone down as well. She is winning this. She's gonna kill this. Kai'Sa as well. Beautiful triple kill for the Misfortune. This is why I keep telling you guys, Misfortune is broken. She is able to just 1v1 beat Kai'Sa. I mean, yeah, she has the Lulu, but the Lulu was dead at that point. The Lulu was dead at that point. That's pretty insane. I have to say, that is pretty crazy. Also, something very interesting to keep to point out, Ziggs convergence being built on Lulu, which usually you don't see. You see that Ardent Sensor, that's very standard, but that's Ziggs convergence. But let's hold that thought, because Divine Esports just committed a teleport to push down this tower. And they keep going. It seems like they want to keep going. Another teleport coming in by the Lulu. They want to end this game. Are they going to be able to get it? They are pushing down that Nexus. It has the resistances. Oh my god, 500 health, 400 health. They're all dropping though, 300 health. The Camille, 342 health. The last member dies. The Kai'Sa flashes forward immediately because she knows this is game over. Divine Esports went for a ridiculously risky call. They didn't have to go for it. The Baron is still on the plate. They could have just secured that, pushed out all the waves, secured the Elder Dragon, and they would be looking at a very winning position. But yeah, they decide to go for the risk. I assume they thought Orianna ult is so powerful. If it doesn't miss like in the last team fight, we will just lose every team fight. Kai'Sa is also stronger than Misfortune late game usually, so they were probably scared of that. But man, oh man, what a crazy finish to this. I don't even know how to clickbait this. Like, what is going on? I have no clue how to clickbait this. Anyway, guys, I mean, you already saw the clickbait, you'll see. I hope I did a good job. But man, what a crazy game. Guys, it is so much fun to check this out. The Lee Sin actually went for a Trinity. I would have expected Lee Sins in competitive to go very tanky, because you don't really need damage on a Lee Sin. You just want to be that CC bot, you know. But he still went for a Trinity. Beautiful game. You can see the damage numbers. Orianna getting that MVP. She gets the 17,000 damage, just a little bit more than that Kai'Sa. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have that Misfortune again, being that losing side MVP. She was the winning MVP last game. She just always does the most damage. Divine Esports plays around this Hope 1 player here on his marksman, and yeah, it seems to work pretty well. They almost won. They won that last team fight with him playing well. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. We will of course continue with the next games as well over the coming days. I might bundle up the next 3 games just all in one and release like a little movie. That should be really fun. But yeah, and for the next video we'll be going back to the gameplays. Don't worry about that. We won't just be only esports content, but I feel like this is pretty exciting right now, so I wanted to bash out 2 in a row. Let me know what you think about these. I think I already stepped up a little bit, you know, except for the maybe any FBI joke. Really? Sniffing waifu feet? Really? Guys, it's just gonna go uphill from here, okay? Anyway guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.